Jim, we're having commodities rally as sort of the growth fears ease as we have an EU plan going. We talked in a previous video about stocks to buy off of this. Would commodities be the stock or sector to sell?
Well, I was talking with the people from Ford Motor yesterday, and they're convinced that commodities are going to come back. We've had a dramatic decline in the copper inventories. Aluminum has gotten tighter. Iron could be going better. The West Texas Intermediate has gotten better. Commodities fell off. The steel has not gotten better. The commodities fell off a cliff in the last 2 weeks of September, and I think that they can firm. Now, but that said, the stocks fell far more. So you could see the stocks go up big just on the strength of the fact that commodities have stopped falling. Freeport was the best tell. Freeport fell from, we managed to buy a lot of Freeport at good prices for action alerts. And I always am not happy with how we're doing, but I think that Freeport was something we did right. What happened with Freeport was that the stock, just like in 2008, the stock fell far harder than the commodity. Once the commodity, the stock stabilized and then started going up, and then the commodity followed. Different from gold, where the commodity went up and the stocks didn't follow because there's certain issues with gold miners, as you know well. But I think that Deere, because I think that ag came down and probably stabilizes, and Deere sales are going to be really good worldwide. I think Nucor is exceptional. And I think that that's a way to play the steel commodity turning. Vale reported a really horrible quarter. I mean, maybe it's time to look at Vale. So I think it's a good place to look as long as the stocks are still down a lot. I mean, let's take the case of Joy Global, which is a play on coal mining. Well, I mean, Joy Global hit 70, and it was a little absurd that it hit 70. Now it's at 95. That seems dicey to me. The coal stocks have moved up 20% in 3 days. So, I mean, those are typically really big short squeeze moves and do signal that those areas could be good. But I also know that, if I come on here and say, listen, go buy BTU, Peabody. Peabody drops $1.50. There's a lot of people who are watching this who say, well, he said buy Peabody. And so what I have to hedge myself to say, look, when the stock's up 20%, it's certainly possible it goes down 5%, but then you want to buy, not sell. And there's a very different market from the way it was in September. In September, you wanted to sell every single time the market went up. You can't do that anymore. That's the tell of October. You just can't do that.
Where does that leave big oil then? It's so subject to the oil price and having
It's
a hard
so
time
hard.
meeting production.
It's so hard. I mean, Occidental made the numbers. EOG is going to be fabulous. APA, really good. If you grew your assets, your stock's going to go up. That was the tale of Occidental. Statoil didn't. I had interviewed the CEO this morning, and that's why that stock has languished. Exxon is not the way to play it because Exxon tries to eliminate the growth. They just want to do consistent. No, they're not trying to get a growth spurt. Chesapeake is trying. Interesting enough, Cabot Oil and Gas, COG, reported a really bad number. The stock's flying. I think that's because the desire to buy these assets from overseas is too great, particularly now that Cheniere Energy, LNG, has gotten an $8 billion commitment from BG, the old British Gas, to be able to build out a world-class LNG export terminal. We will become one of the largest exporters of natural gas. We just have way too much of it. Our technology has overridden our ability to be able to store the stuff.
All right, so then commodities could have more leg to run
Not
here.
Some of the stocks,
really
like Freeport. Let's say
specific
come in and buy Freeport at 42. It's entirely possible to go to 39. I want people to recognize that what's shifted here is that the buy weakness is good. The sell strength is not as strong an idea.
Buy weakness, change for October.
But don't necessarily sell the strength. Because I was recommending buying weakness in September, but I was also recommending sell the RIP. And the RIP, maybe it can't be sold between here and year end because there's so little stock around and so many people who want to own stocks.
Hold strength, buy weakness.
Yes.
All right, thanks, Jim.